Riff Raiders with Live Like You Mean It, 11 tracks for 38 minutes, debut album from this Melbourne 4-piece released independently in November 2017. Produced by guitarist and writer Marty Powell with Gavin Parker, recorded at Colour Sound Studios. 2 promo tracks were released, d-gaf and Live Like You Mean It. This band has been getting quite a bit of praise lately and is already quite popular among our fan base. The amount of requests these guys are getting in our top 10s alone, the audience top 10 is fucking... They've got a good fan base, so cool. Anyway, who's going on this one?
I'll go. I got dirty, rude, aggressive, fuzzy rock. Straightforward, 4 on the floor. This is pub rock, the way it's supposed to be played. It's not to say it's all the same though. There's a fair bit going on. I found a couple of tracks where the mix was a bit strange, which is interesting. It was a colour sound like it was maybe recorded at different times, and
I'm not sure. Yeah,
there was a couple that had a bit of a different flavour to it. Like, I love the song "Million Miles Away," but the vocals seemed quite distant in it. I love the guitar riff, so I was a bit sort of torn on some of that. The guitars moved from like a sort of fuzz sound to more of a traditional overdrive distortion on other tracks.
There were shifts in tones on this one.
Yeah, it was kind of made it a bit of an interesting listen. When they're using the backup vocals again, it sort of really stood out. I would like to hear a bit more of it. The Cheap Trick cover, I thought, of If You Want My Love was really nicely done.
Yeah, that was a bit of class to that.
Yeah, it was a really nice touch. So, all in all, I thought it was a really good album. I gave it 7.5 out of 10. The highlights were Alien, Sleeping With the Lights On, and Live Like You Mean It.
Nice. Cool.
Upbeat and fun old school rock and roll. Riff-driven with plenty of solos and great female vocals. The songs are catchy and easily accessible. It's party music, summer barbecues, or just sitting around a record player with some mates and some beer. Actually reminded me of some Swedish bands like Spiders and Hypnos. They're doing the same type of really guitar-driven riff rock and roll. The nice cover of Cheap Tricks, If You Want My Love. It was really well done. Yeah. Overall, this is a really enjoyable listen. It's straight up rock and roll. 7.5 out of 10. Live Like You Mean It, Alien, and Spinning on the Rails.
Nice.
Yes, another band that I hadn't heard of. I thought there was a fair bit of variety on it. Maybe.
Yeah.
The early songs reminded me a bit of the grunge era, and then the album goes on, it sort of goes into the straight up hard rock territory.
There's almost a little bit of punk on this one too in moments as well, I thought.
Very catchy hooks, some fine choruses. Again, I think this would appeal to commercial radio, but of course they won't play it. THRS Radio will.
Yeah.
Jenny James is the singer. Excellent vocals, I thought. She's got a big voice, really passionate. I love her work on this, really good. Some very cool riffs and guitar work on this as well. My only real gripe is with the production. I thought it's not quite punchy enough.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
I'd like to hear a little more imagination in the drums as well. It's all there, like the songs, the playing, the energy, it's all very good. Just needs a bit more punch. I've got written down here aggression, but I don't know whether it needs aggression.
No, it just needs more beefing out in the mix, I think, overall.
Yes, that's it, beefing out, yes. In the overall sound.
Technical terms.
Yes, but it's a fine release. I think if you love your Aussie rock, you should definitely get on this band because there are some great songs on here. I gave it an 8 out of 10.
Oh, fuck.
And I had standouts on this. Yeah. Live Like You Mean It, Ain't No Limit, and Alien.
Nice. Well, Alien seems popular. This is one of those surprise packets that comes along, just strikes out of the blue. Like, I had no idea about this band until we started talking about their album launch and they were reaching out to us, and then the conversation got started from there. Lots of fun and attitude in this release. There was a lot of fun, a lot of attitude in it. It's riff-driven rock straight out of the pub with some pretty gnarly female vocals on this. A bit of class to it too. Some pretty mean riffs though, however. There were some pretty fucking cool riffs on this. I like the lyrics and the vocal delivery on this. Songs were something to say, but a bit of tongue-in-cheek about it as well. Like I said, the fun element was there. Production is nice and clean. It's got great use of different effects on different things to accent the songs in the right way. That's really well done. But what we were saying before, I put down my notes too, it could be a little more punchy. The balance is good, it just doesn't kick out of the speakers when you listen to it. Yeah. And that's what when you got the pub rock vibe, you wanted to just leap out at you a bit more than this one did, especially in comparison to the other releases we've been listening to at the same time as this. And that's the hard part for being critical on bands, is we listen to a lot of things at the same time, and then you go from one to the other and things tend to stand out more than they do just to the casual listener. But there's really nice layering. Like the layering of the mix I can't fault. I just would have liked to have it kick out a bit more. But I like the subtle approach they've gone for with this. They could have gone too big with what they were trying to do with all the different little things going on. They could have gone too hard at it, but they didn't. They had good control over that kind of element being added to it, which is done really well. So that's executed well. It's just the only production gripe is that it doesn't leap out enough at you. But apart from that, everything else is fucking fantastic as far as I'm concerned. This has a real classic cruising kind of feel to it at times. Some cool groove on it. Some great hooks too that you can imagine going really damn well live, which I think is where they're winning over a lot of their audience, because the live set will be a lot of fun with a lot of these songs.
Yeah.
And it's a very infectious album overall. It's a very solid debut. It's got solid performances, solid songs. They aren't reinventing the wheel, but you don't want them to with this genre. You just want good music that sounds good, and this album does.
Yeah.
It's pretty much a straight-ahead rock album with some good diversity on this that carries well across the listen and also holds up well under repeat listens. It also makes me want them to check them out live. I want to check them out live on the back of this. It shows that also that I'll be looking forward to their next product.
Yeah.
But I'd also like to see what comes next with this band, because it's one of those ones that I reckon they'll throw a curveball at you. They're just one of those bands that there's something underneath this that, while we're talking about pub rock, I reckon there's a lot more underneath bubbling away. There's little things in the songs I've heard. You sit there and go, they're going to do something that's going to just throw a curveball at you.
Yeah.
The cover of If You Want My Love from Cheap Trick is also kind of like it demonstrates that a bit. When you get to that point of the album, you're sitting there going, you go through the track list. And I looked at Born to Raise Hell, and that's an original track, and I glossed over If You Want My Love, and it turns out that If You Want My Love was the cover, and Born to Raise Hell is the original track. Yeah. And that's where I think that's kind of got my attention on that mark as well. So that's pretty cool. And that cover was pretty well done. As fun and pub rock as this is, there's a bit of class in it, like I mentioned before. And there's maturity in this as well.
Definitely.
It's not the whole go out and have a beer and talk about chicks and beers. There's a bit of class and maturity about this one, but it's a bit of a breath of fresh air to the pub rock genre. If you want a good fun listen that's easy to sing along to, but it's also perfect for the summer cruise in the car, then this is an album for you. I gave it an 8.5 out of 10. I picked d-gaf, well, I'm pretty sure you can work out what that means. Sleep with the Lights On, Live Like Men, and also the cover If You Want My Love. I thought that was a standout track as well, which I don't normally pick covers, but yeah, there you go. Check it out for yourselves though, folks, and give us your thoughts.